You can build malls on sacred ground, pour concrete over bones. But silence from the dead cannot be bought, not when an entire city becomes their mouth. Welcome to DreadLoop. Every nightmare returns. After Valmora became the land of the Black Spirit, residents stopped dreaming. Something in the city stole their rest. Every night, a slow scrape beneath concrete, the city's heartbeat turned into excavation. Hospitals filled with exhausted citizens. Sedatives stopped working. Patients began speaking in voices not their own. Strangers whispered in unison, "Return US." The government declared emergency, blaming science, not the supernatural. It was easier than exposing the oligarchs' ancient crime. Roads near Valmora Hill were closed, access blocked, but fences don't stop what moves through walls. Security cameras recorded only static whenever the chanting rose. Then, Father Elian Quartz arrived quietly. He came with a small bag, a notebook, and a face that had survived too much. One oligarch invited him. The oligarch's nightmares were no longer private. A stairwell descending, a stone door, thousands of hands pushing. Alian felt it in his bones. "You didn't just break graves," he said. "You broke the lock." Elian mapped possession patterns. They radiated from the excavation pit, converting the city district by district. The spirits weren't just seeking revenge, they were building the mouth. Valmora was speaking through people. Alian demanded access to the pit. The city refused, so he went at night. At 2:03 a.m., the fence lock clicked open. They entered, the air dropped, breath ahead. Beneath the soil, whispers layered into a thick chant. Thousands of voices attempting to say the same thing. Elian began praying. Floodlights exploded. The world fell into darkness. The chanting became laughter. A construction worker emerged, barefoot, pale, sunken eyes. He smiled without warmth. A non-human voice spoke. "You came to close a door." Elian held his ground. The worker tilted his head. "Then you must go inside it." He walked toward them. Sister Marin shone a flashlight. Something moved behind his eyes. He spoke. "We have learned light." His shadow detached, crawling like liquid darkness. It touched Sato's shoe. Sato dropped, eyes rolling back. A new voice formed through him. "We are many." Elian pulled Sato away. The spirits were evolving. Sato's notes revealed a sealed temple beneath a cemetery. A prison older than graves. The cemetery was a warning. A lock. The oligarchs had torn open an ancient containment. Whatever was beneath had fed on the dead for millennia. Now it had access to the living. This was released. The government panicked, approving a containment solution. Concrete, a final seal of cement and steel. Alian warned. "You cannot bury anger. You can only compress it. But money loves simple solutions." The oligarchs ordered the pour. Thousands of tons of concrete arrived. They were building a lid on a boiling pot. At the first truck's arrival, the sky dimmed. A cold fog rolled down. Birds fell silent. Then a deep, low thump came from beneath, like something massive testing the earth. Concrete flowed. Workers stopped, turned to the skyline, and spoke. "We do not sleep." The ground trembled. Concrete cracked. Black soil seeped up like blood. Workers fled. Some didn't. Their bodies stiffened, eyes emptying as shadows climbed their legs and entered their mouths. Alia knew sealing the pit physically would fail. He devised an impossible reversal. To calm the dead, the city must admit guilt, restore what it destroyed. Not with malls, but with ritual. Alian proposed a citywide rite. Remove construction, return bones, rebuild sacred boundaries, conduct mass prayers. The government laughed. Until possessions reached City Hall. Until the mayor's voice changed mid-broken. Until his shadow moved without him. Then they listened. Belief became practical. Elian requested something simple but enormous. Light. Candles in every home, every window, every balcony. A million flames flickered. From above, a constellation on Earth. The city breathed normally. The air felt lighter. The scraping soft. People wept without knowing why. The spirits hated it. Candlelight is will. Humanity choosing warmth, defiance. The dead could not easily consume that. Elian demanded the 5 oligarchs appear at Valmora Hill during the ritual. Publicly. 2 confess. 2 agreed. Already half-possessed, their eyes darkening, voices layered. They knew they were losing. As they stepped onto the hill, fog thickened, candors flickered violently. Chanting rose. The earth opened. From it rose black mist, faces forming within it. Thousands of the dead and something deeper. Elian raised a crucifix. Sister Marin sang hymns. Sato recited names of the dead. The mist screamed in rage. The ground split wider. Something emerged that made them understand. It was absence shaped into hunger. A void wearing fragments of faces. No eyes, yet looking into your soul. It spoke without sound. You opened me. The oligarchs collapsed, sobbing. Guards ran. Their own shadows pulled them backward. The city had become part of the prison. An altar of greed. Elian understood. Only a sacrifice of power would close it, a surrender of control. The oligarchs had to relinquish their land contracts, their ownership, their influence, their signatures. The moment ink touched paper, the mist froze. The void recoiled, not defeated, but affected. The paper caught fire from cold, burning into ash that swirled into the seam. The ground began closing. The ritual worked, partially. The seam closed to a crack. The fog lifted. People slept. Again. But the city did not escape without consequence. The luxury mall sank, cracking permanently. Richest subdivision lost water. Pipes rusted. Walls grew black mold. The remaining oligarchs vanished. Valmora Hill is now surrounded by candles and glass lanterns. Caretakers whisper apologies. Bones are returned. The city is trying, but sometimes, at 2:03 a.m., residents still hear digging. Sometimes, in a dark alley, a shadow leans forward before you move. The prison was closed, but not repaired. What was awakened remembers the way out. They wanted a subdivision, built a curse. Wanted a mall, opened a mouth. The dead showed the living. Some ground is not for sale. Welcome to Every nightmare returns.